This is Taking Stock on Bloomberg. I'm Pimm. So it's time now for this week's Small to Big segment where we look at a small company that is making it big. This week, we're looking at Arrowsight. It's a company that installs cameras in the workplace in order to monitor safety. Its chief executive tells us how he went from meat processing surveillance to expanding into numerous industries.
You can think of Arrowsight as being game film for business. I realized that businesses might be able to benefit from putting cameras into the workplace in the same exact way that professional sports teams use video to prepare for sporting events. We built up a lot of credibility in the meat industry. Beef processing plants have really significant concerns around sanitation so as to prevent E. coli. In the first year that they used our services, they lowered their E. coli rates by 60%. The next market we chose was healthcare. My dad, who is a physician up in Boston, said, this is really important. You need to bring this into the healthcare industry. So we tried, and no one would even look at a pilot, a free pilot. Privacy was a really big concern. We need to de-identify not just patients, but workers. Fundamentally, take patient privacy and employee privacy completely off the table. And so we thought about it and we said, maybe we could just dial down the resolution of the entire image. And lo and behold, even with a lower resolution, where you can't make out anybody's face or anything revealing, you can see the extremely important safety protocols that they have to follow that help prevent surgical site infections. It worked terrifically. All the work that we've been doing in healthcare has led to us now having about 12 companies that are multi-billion-dollar clients. We have hopes that our services are going to be brought into retail, paper plants, schools. The opportunities are profound, and we're really excited about where it's going to go.
All right, joining me now live here in New York is Arrowsight's chief executive, Adam Aronson. Now, Adam, you mentioned expanding across numerous industries. Let's talk a little bit about a recent deal that you've done with Deloitte, the consulting company.
All right, thanks for having me, Pimm. It's a big breakthrough for our company. Our business, Arrowsight Remote Video Auditing Services, are really focused on risk and efficiency improvements. And if you look at what Deloitte does, they're sort of the best brand and best company in the world. They're the largest professional services firm in the world, focused on, in many cases, risk and efficiencies. So the synergies were there, and taking the work that we've done with remote video auditing and partnering with them, they have 200,000 people in over 150 countries serving dozens of industries. So it's an enormous opportunity for us to extend the utilization of this service.
Tell us a little bit about the installation of a service like this, because there must be some minimums that are necessary to meet in terms of how many cameras, what kind of system, what kind of tasks you're really going to be able to focus on.
Yeah, I'll give you a very concrete example, something that's kind of the most, I would say, prolific use of our technology in the operating room. So we partnered with North Shore LIJ Health System right here in New York, and they're a large anesthesia provider called North American Partners in Anesthesia. And a few years ago, they started pioneering the use of this technology in the operating room to improve safety and efficiency. So there were some challenges, privacy, so you had to put cameras in on patients, so we wound up lowering the resolution so that we kind of avoided any privacy issues. Then we had to figure out, what are you going to monitor for? And so working with our partners there at the hospital and their anesthesia group, they defined things like avoiding wrong site surgeries, avoiding leaving any retained objects inside patients after surgery, avoiding surgical site infections, and at the same time, can you use technology like this to provide staging alerts so that they can reduce turnover times in between cases? So the results are pretty profound. They've been able to get their safety metrics to almost 100%, and they've improved their turnover time rate, meaning reduced the amount of time in between cases by about 20%.
You're growing. I mean, obviously, you've made this new deal with Deloitte. I mean, what kind of hiring, what kind of future growth plans?
So we have been growing quite rapidly. Our average growth rate over the last 5 years is about 40% a year. to get a company like Deloitte to partner with us, we really needed to not only establish the efficacy of the platform, remote video auditing, but we needed a bunch of customers. So we had to get up and over 10 customers, multi-billion-dollar customers, to get a company like Deloitte to really look at this.
I want to thank you very much for joining me. Arrowsight's Chief Executive, Adam Aronson. Coming up, X Games.